Thanks for joining today's snapshot for Wednesday, June 10th. I want to remind the people of Dr. Martin Luther Church that we are having outdoor worship again this Sunday at 10 o'clock and the following Sunday as well. I hope you can join the over 100 people who came last week. And you'll be getting a letter in the mail or online today or tomorrow telling you about our details for re-entry into the regular schedule in church beginning June 27 and 28. 2 nights ago, I was reading about an incredible medical procedure that was performed by a doctor by the name of Walter Freeman. He performed lobotomies for over 40 years throughout the United States, traveling the country often in a van from place to place. He finally stopped doing these lobotomies in 1967, I believe. And he did it in the most gruesome manner. He performed lobotomies by, well, you might want to pause or fast forward the video. He would put an ice pick between the eyeball and the eyelid up into the eye socket and then tap it with a hammer and then just tap around blindly, breaking up neuron connections until the people were lobotomized. He did over 225 in one 12-day period. It was amazing. The most famous person he lobotomized was Rosemary Kennedy, the sister of JFK. Joseph Kennedy, their dad, thought that she was willful and moody and too vivacious and would get into trouble, so he had Freeman lobotomize her. These people basically lost their personalities for the rest of their lives. Well, why bring this up? Well, because June 10th today is the anniversary of the hanging of the first Salem witch trial victim, one of 20 who were murdered in the colony of Massachusetts for practicing witchcraft, which of course was a bunch of bunk. But they were persuaded themselves that they had been consorting with witches, traveling to hell to have a beer with the devil. Neighbors, children, relatives testified against these people. And many of them said, yeah, that did happen. And they were killed. It was really sad. Bridget Bishop was the first one, 1692, to be hanged. It reminds me of the craze of 100,000 plus witches who were killed in Europe in a 200-year period in the 15th to 18th century. My wife Kathy and I went to a monument for the Norwegian witches that happened to be along the way on some travels we were on. 91 were killed, 18 burned at the stake in this town of Vardø. And again, many of them confessed that they had indeed caused the boat to sink in a storm or caused a storm, and neighbors said they were witches and they were murdered. Well, what's the lesson we hear from that? Number one is we're easily persuaded by others to follow what they say. There was basically hysteria that led to these lobotomies and to these murders in Massachusetts colony and in Norway. St. Paul warned the people in his travels as he went from place to place. He wrote back to them saying, beware of being persuaded by this theology and this church practice, but rather follow the gospel. We need to be cautious about being torn this way and that. Secondly, we need to watch out for scapegoats. So easy to point the finger at others and say, these people have the problems, rather than looking at ourselves. So 2 lessons with basically a gruesome background to the lessons. Sorry about that. I think we should close with a real happy hymn. Not happy, but devout. I want to walk as the child of the light. I want to follow Jesus. God set the stars to give light to the world. The star of my life is Jesus. In him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. God bless you.